Hey everyone, Mike here once again, and I got kind of a cool mod that I'm going to be doing. I've been actually wanting to do it for a while, finally broke down and I bought it. I always thought it was kind of cool looking, and that is the Sky Wing. It's right there. Obviously I don't have it installed yet, it's just kind of sitting here. I was originally going to get the RK Wing, which is the one that I really wanted, but unfortunately because of autocross, the class that I'm in, I cannot have a wing that isn't a factory type of wing. It has to be a factory wing that's on there, and that's it. But you know what, the RK wing was probably like 3 times more expensive anyway, so it's probably a good thing. I did actually get this one from CarID, and all you basically do when you order it, you tell them your paint code, and I gotta tell you what, they matched that up almost perfectly. Actually, I take that back, they actually matched it up perfectly to the paint color that's on my Sky, so I'm pretty excited about that. And here's what the funny thing is, I'm going to install it, but I'm not going to completely install it. And the reason being is because I'm actually going to be getting rid of this stripe. Wait, there we go. I'm actually going to be getting rid of this stripe, and I'm going to be doing a different kind of a paint job on it. And because of that, I need to drill the holes in first. I'm actually going to be using a Plastidip. I don't think I can drill into Plastidip, but I'll probably mess it up. So what I'm going to do is kind of line everything up, drill the holes like I'm going to be installing it, and then once the holes are there, then I can go ahead and I can do my painting, and then I can actually install the wing. So this might actually be a 2-part video depending on how long it is. I don't like making super long videos, but anyway, that's kind of the plan. Here's the wing. It actually goes way back here, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of get started with installing it. I'm a little nervous drilling some holes into this, but hey, you know, you got to break some eggs to make an omelet. So anyway, let me go ahead and get started. But before I actually do the installation, I just kind of want to show you the wing itself and look at the quality of it. And like I said, they actually did a really good job with the paint and just I believe it's made out of fiberglass, and you can get it unpainted if you want and go ahead and paint it yourself or get a professional to do it. But coming right from the company that makes the wing, their paint job is literally right on the money. As far as even like the metallic speckles that they have in there match perfectly to, I know it's kind of hard to tell, to my factory paint job. So anyway, so this is kind of the look of it. It's nice and smooth, all clear coated. And if you look at the back or the bottom of it, here is where the holes are at for drilling it down, and actually have a little rubber gasket or something, whatever you want to call it, little foot thing here to keep from scratching up your paint and make it a nice solid piece. So again, well, there's kind of like this on the bottom. I don't know if it does anything for the wind or the structure or whatever. It's pretty cool. And obviously on this side is the same thing. The only thing I'm a little concerned about, and I don't know, maybe there's no need to be, is because I'm actually drilling right into the fiberglass. It's not like there's a little metal sleeve in there that I'm going to be screwing into. It's actually right into the fiberglass. So I'm thinking once I screw this thing in, I pretty much got one shot. It's not going to be one of these things you could screw it in, unscrew it, screw it back in, unscrew it. Plus, once it's officially installed anyway, I'm going to be putting some silicone on there for waterproofing everything as well. So anyway, like I said, I just kind of wanted to give you a little preview of what this actually looks like and the quality of it. And again, I got it from CarID, and I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is actually have to take off the trunk liner, which means removing all of the little tab plugs, you know, pull out things here. I never can remember the name of these things, but anyway, got to pull all these out to see what, you know, to get to the bottom of this. And I believe, hopefully, even though this didn't have a wing at the factory put on, I'm hoping that the holes are already there on this side of it, so that I don't have to drill holes on this side as well. So I'm kind of hoping that once this is off, there's actually going to be holes on this side already, and I can actually they would be down here really, and I could just use those on this side, because this is like 2 pieces of metal. You got the top, the outside, you got the inside. So I'm going to hope for that and go ahead and start pulling this thing off. Alright, after a little bit of finagling, I finally got the clips out of there, and some of them were more difficult than others, but I do have this piece off, which is exposing the bottom of the trunk lid. And the first thing I noticed was down here, it looks like there's 3 plugs filling in some holes. So it would really be cool, once I put the wing on there, it'd be really cool if these line up with the holes that I'm drilling. Because then all I gotta do, if these holes are already here, I just have to screw it in with these existing holes. So that's what I'm hoping on. That's what I'm planning on. That's what I'm really hoping. And so I'm gonna pull these things off. See the holes there? There's there, and then they're also on the other side. Pull this off, and hopefully those will line up. All right, here's the holes. Took the caps off, and now I'm going to go ahead and work on where to align up the wing. All right, the manufacturer actually does give you some directions, but I've actually watched some videos, not on the Saturn Sky, but other wings that are being put on, and what's really cool, and they didn't show it in the other videos. The other videos you actually had to use masking tape to do this, but this particular manufacturer gives you these little, I guess, alignment pieces here, and what you do is these all tear off, and what you do is you line up the hole with the hole that's on the actual wing, and then once that's on there, say for instance, you have the hole lined up right there, then what you do is you tape it to the wing, good enough to hold it, light enough you can tear it back off, and then you turn the wing over, and then this would actually be on the deck of the car, and then you tape that down, and then you pull the wing back off, and all of these holes will show you where you're supposed to drill into the deck lid. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear these things apart and start putting them on these holes here, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna line it up on the actual sky here and see where the placement of the holes are gonna go. Okay, we'll go ahead and tear these off, at least the first three. When you line them up with the hole in the actual wing, you just want to make sure that it's going to overlap and be outside the actual leg so that you can tape this down to the deck from the other side. So this one's going to be a little more difficult. Maybe we can kind of angle it like that, and then this one maybe angle it like that, just so I have an overlap, so like I said, so I can tape it down once it's on the deck. So I'm going to go ahead and tape these down and get it working on the other one. And you don't want to push it down too hard, because you actually want to make sure that this tape is going to lift back off whenever you tape this other end down. You don't want it to be moving on you. And sometimes you got to realign it just to make sure it's right perfect. Alright, so as you can see, I got the paper hole lined up with the actual holes in the wing. They're kind of taped down, not too taped so that they're hard to get back off again, but taped down enough that when I flip the wing over, they're going to stay there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that side next, and then I'll show you how to put on the lid, or put on the actual trunk lid. Okay, one thing I want to mention, I had to kind of redo it a little bit, is I kind of put this tape, and I went over this little rubber gasket thing here, and even though this is this blue painter's tape that doesn't stick very well, it sticks really well to this rubber gasket thing. So pulled up a little bit. I mean, it's not that big a deal. I'm glad I didn't do all of them that way, and I kind of caught it early. So whenever you're taping these pieces down to line up the holes, actually this one's a little bit off a little bit here. Make sure you don't put the tape over top of this little gasket thing. It's more foam. It's really not rubber. It's more of a foam gasket thing. So yeah, little quick tip, learn from my mistakes. Alright, so I got the wing all placed where I wanted to go. And one of the nice things about the Sky is it actually has this crease coming right down the body, and then the wing lines up right with it, which is really cool. Then you got to kind of have it come off to the back here as well. And then same on the other side. Got this crease coming down the side of the back here, and then the wing, see if I can get my light in the look. The wing kind of follows right along with it, which definitely makes it a little bit easier to deal with and to line up. But actually, you know what? I think I have to slide it over just a hair, because I see a little bit of gap there where it's right on top there. So let me fidget with this a little bit more, get it all lined up. And then what we're going to do is tape these little pieces of paper things down to the trunk. See there, and I got them there, and there's actually a couple underneath. There we go, a couple underneath there as well. You can see them there. Tape those down so whenever I pull the wing off, what's going to happen is those pieces of paper have the holes where the hole placements are going to be. So that's pretty much how that works. So let me just finagle this a little bit more. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff. It'll drive me crazy if I know it's a little bit off. So let me fix that, and then I'll start taping down these pieces of paper. You really need to make sure, like I said, these white little pieces sticking out don't move, because that is the alignment for the holes that we're going to be drilling. So I actually bought regular masking tape to hold these ones down just in case. And then hopefully that'll be it. And like I said, I'll pull this off and we'll see where the holes go. This is where you got to be real careful and lift it up and make sure all of these stay down. Alright, well, the wing lifted up pretty easily, but not too excited that it actually left a little bit of a gap on the bottom. I guess it's because of that little rubber or foam gasket on there, kind of gave it some extra room. So what I'll probably do is just, I mean, if you flatten it out, it goes straight down like that. So I don't think it's going to really misalign any of these holes, but I might, I don't know, I might just tape it down closer here, get it all flat, nice and flat, so when I do drill, the same thing's going on over here, so when I do drill, the hole's not going to be up in the air at all. It's just going to be flat right down there. So anyway, that's pretty much how we're going to do it, and I think I might even leave the drilling for tomorrow when it's a little bit light, because it's completely dark out now, and I'd rather have more light on the subject here when I'm drilling. So until then, I will see you as soon as I get back. Alright, so here it is the next day. It's nice and sunny out, it's actually pretty warm, and I really got these things taped down pretty well, as you can see, right up to the holes where I'm going to be drilling. I got all the tape down there, so those aren't going anywhere, and obviously I did it on this side as well. So I'm not going to lie, I mean, I've done a lot of mods to my car, but drilling into the trunk is probably one of the most anxious times that I'm going to have with any kind of mod that I'm doing here. So basically what we do is we're going to start off with a an 1/8 inch drill bit, and then I'll work my way down to, I think the directions say something like a 5/16. Yeah, 5/16 is the final hole is going to be in there. So I'm going to go ahead, get these things started. A little nervous, get these things started though, start drilling, and I'm pretty sure they're going to line up with the big holes that are underneath the trunk lid as well. So anyway, let me get the camera all set up and start to drilling. Alright, got those 3 done. Do the other 3 and then start making these holes a little bit bigger. Okay, they get a little bit bigger. Alright, so got the holes drilled. And like I said, I was a little nervous doing it. And they actually do line up with the bigger holes inside the trunk. So it'd be very easy to screw up into these holes with the screws. But because obviously because I drilled that, we got some bare metal going on there. I actually went and I bought some rust inhibitor. So what I'm going to do is put that around there, around this, just to kind of keep any kind of rust from going on while it's open like that. And then right now I'm not actually going to install the wing because, like I said, I'm going to be painting this deck anyway, but I needed these holes to be there so I wouldn't mess up the paint. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this rust inhibitor on there, and then just imagine imagine me screwing in from the bottom the actual wing, which I'm going to do in my next video whenever after I paint it. But anyway, let me go ahead and put this rust inhibitor on there and get this video wrapped up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spray this rust inhibitor into a cup, and I got a small paintbrush that I'm going to use to go ahead and paint the inside where that bare metal is. Alright, there it is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and I'll come back and just put a second coat on this one and a second coat on the other one. Alright, got the rust inhibitor on, and I might even do another coat, but I just kind of wanted to show you, and hopefully I can, that the holes line up with these bigger ones, which is nice. So I don't have to worry about going through this one. I could just take the screws, put them right through these 3 holes here. Whoops. There, there, and there. The same on the other side, which makes it a lot easier. So once I do actually install the wing, like I said, I'm going to put it in there, and then once I get it screwed in there, then I'll use some silicone around the screws just to make it all nice and waterproof, and we should be good. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up this video, and like I said, my next one I'm going to be painting the deck, and then I haven't decided whether or not to paint the wing, so it's going to match it or not, and that's a big surprise, so you're going to see that whenever the video comes out. But the holes are done. Like I said, a little nervous putting those in there, and it was actually pretty easy to figure out. You don't need a template or anything like that. As I showed you, you just use a little strips. So that wraps up this video. Have a fantastic day.